Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars.
We are live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm Zach Chapman with ShaggyTV, ready to bring you your flatline racing bodies. Hometown Heroes. First on that list is the 358 Modifieds here at the USA International Speedway. Looks like the rain has stayed away down here in Florida, but I can tell you what didn't stay away, my errors. And let's see, there's the error that I made. I don't want this to jump around when guys decide to hop on and off the track. Kind of, you know, my hangout camera, my sit and wait, see what's going on. Here comes Brandon Templeton, I believe. That is B-Temp here rolling by. That 31 machine. He's currently at the top of the charts here. Brandon Templeton, always a dog, man, when he can keep that thing straight, keep it clean on the racetrack. And USA International Speedway, a place that's going to favor a guy like Brandon Templeton, willing to get it high, poke his nose in maybe when it doesn't necessarily belong if you got a big run, but, you know, here you're going to have to kind of force that issue a little bit. This is V-Temp rolls around. Still plenty of time here before we even roll into qualifying, 3 or 4 minutes. Make sure had everything the way I liked it. Sounds aren't too bad. No one's yelling at me out there for this being too loud, that being too loud here. I'm also trying to keep an eye on the C2C side, make sure everything's flowing smooth. Everything looks good so far, I think, but it looks a little better there for that man, the 518. Hunter Grand, Joseph Grandy, he's another one you're going to have to keep your eye on. Working that slider line right now. Let's drop on that left front. Let's see how close he gets here to the grass. Not going to flirt with it on one. Kind of arc down. Now he's going to use that grass a little bit. Get real close to it. Well, now he's going to say, I ain't going to give you any tricks, Shaggy. I will go with V-Temp there. He's going to go down. He thinks about trimming the grass there. That's the line that I personally take. It's been a while since I've driven this racetrack. I don't know if that's kind of the way to do it, but I would always hook myself on that little patch of grass down there. We'll see if V-Temp does it again this time. Oh, we're going to go back to the top here. Maybe top side quickest as we watch the 161 Yoo-hoo machine get out on the racetrack. Galen's Gourmet popcorn on that thing as well. I'd have to make some Yoo-hoo flavored Galen's popcorn. You know, Preacher, get on it. See if Blake can pull his strings. See, speaking of Blake pulling his strings, he may have gotten a string pulled on him. I don't see the salesman here for this modified race. Doesn't look like Blake Chapman gonna make it here. The deuce of Harold is here. He's currently 4th on the timing chart. Let's hop over here to another room. Oh, we got a bunch of guys here on the racetrack in the other room. Sam Bachman here wants the paint job, decides to load up. Trading Paints gets along with us. There we go. See that familiar 007. You see Pat Boyce here lead the train. Runner Randall Dixon in that 011, man. These guys they're getting ready to race over here in this lobby. I'll tell you what, this ain't no normal practice session. They're gonna test it out here, see what we got. Oh, Pat Boyce looking for a little over-under here. Can he get back to the inside of Randall Dixon? He does. Not enough room, though, to slide Anthony Morano. 3 wide. This is warm-ups. Pat Boyce back, shuffled to the outside here once again. Was inside that middle there for a little bit. Need to tell you, this is warm-ups here. Rick Main, he's got possibly the best view in the house. Let's see what he sees. He's got a man here to the inside. That's Superman Kurt Schatzer. I want to go back to that left front, though. Let's kind of watch what's going on here off the nose of this Rick Main-driven machine. Anthony Morano still trying to work that bottom, you see, though. Center off, just doesn't have the drive that those guys up top have. Kind of loses it at the back end of the straightaway, and then gets the inside wall. Anthony Morano now maybe 3 wide. Nope. Superman and Rick Main side by side still. Kurt Schatzer clips that grass, tightens up. He's going to slide up in front of that, what runs the grass. And Rick Main says, well, I'll just go back underneath you. Now he looks to Anthony Morano. And all this going on here. Well, I did just realize it is 7 o'clock, so I'm not too sure here when they're going to go. I mean, it's no killer rush for me here. I ain't got anything else to do. And I say that. Here we go. It looks like the checkered flag is going to wave on warm-ups, and we'll wait for Brandon Templeton to be the first guy in the race car. We'll see, man. If anybody can beat Brandon Templeton to inside the race car, it is a feat yet to be done. Brandon Templeton is in the race car. Closest one to him. You know, I always show the honorary second. He's back here. Joe Massow. B Tempe. That's probably, you know, maybe it might be actually in his contract. You know, get out there first. Get us as much TV time as we can, Brandon. And there's a chance of that. You see only 2 minutes of qualifying tonight. That's not a lot at this racetrack. The driver's got to get out here and go. So lap times are going to be coming in here fairly quick, I think. Is Brandon Templeton, he will be that first lap time in as he rolls through 3 and 4s. Look pretty good so far. Rolls across the front stretch, and Brandon Templeton with a purple-yellow. Gonna put him P1. He's the first guy across. Now 100 grand. Joseph Grandy. He comes across the line, in P1 in the 518 machine as he rolls it into 3. Can he find some more time? 100 grand. Slider through 3 and 4. Joseph Grandy is at the top. He doesn't improve. 1/10 of a second slower. Doesn't need to. Joseph Grandy currently P1 as we'll watch Terry Landis here. He comes across, I believe that was his first lap. It was P14 for the driver of the 161. Let's see what the Yoo-Hoo machine does here. Can he add some water to that powder? Get it sloshing around here. Terry Landis, yellow, you see on the bottom. He's not going to improve, but a guy who does come out of nowhere on that final lap, Sammy B with a P3. And that's going to do it here for qualifying. Joseph Grandy, Brandon Templeton, Sam Bachman. Your top 3 as we get ready to take a look at our starting grid for heat race number 1. Brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Row 4 to the inside, the 7 of Bob the Good. Row 3 to the top shelf, the Desert Demon in the 161. Terry Landis to the inside, the 28 of Joe Massow. Row 2 to the outside, the 518 of 100 grand. Joseph Grandy to the inside, the 213 of Michael Vitale. Row 1 for heat race number 1. Winner starts on the pole for tonight's A main to the outside. The 187 of the real deal, Rick Mainin, starting on the pole, the deuce of Harold Klump. So we'll play, you know, when it goes this way, we know I'm going to have a refresh. I've pretty much got it mapped out. I'll have a refresh next, and heat 3 is going to be magically fixed. It works. And when I say it magically fixes itself, I have no idea what fixes it. Or I do it every time. Here, as we get ready to go, Harold Klump, man, good starting spot. I mean, where else do you want to start? Shotgun on the field here, out front. Or no, I guess shotgun on the field, that's considered when you're in the back, right? What am I thinking? Who knows? I don't know what I'm thinking. To say he's out front, but well, the disadvantage, you know, doesn't get to start the race. We do the start of the heats here on green, so it's not like there is a super advantage there with the invert. But you got to go here. Only 6 laps to play. We'll watch the Steve King Foundation pace car pull off. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 1 is underway. 6 laps to play at the USA International Speedway. Harold Klump trying to get up in front. What can he do here as we watch him storm through 3? Rick Main on the outside trying to fight out. Oh boy, big run. Here, Rick Main, he's got it at the line. Joseph Grandy here. Trying to join the club as Harold Klump clips the grass, tightens up. Michael Vitale Trying to drive by on the outside now. That 213 up inside the top three. Well, started third, but had fallen back, and now we got a slide job for the lead. 100 grand side by side with the real deal. Give it to Grandy at the line. Rick Main not going to give up, though. He's going to come back swinging hammers side by side through 1 and 2. Joseph Grandy with a big run off that top shelf, able to shut the door there. Rick Main got to go back to work here as we come to the cross flags. 3 laps to go for the 187. Who knows, time not in his favor, especially with Joseph Grandy here getting out front, being able to set that pace is Harold Plump. Starting to feel some pressure here. The 161. Terry Landis shopping in the basement here is Bob DeGood and Joe Massow. Race side by side. Bob DeGood in the basement there at the 7. Pathfinder run going to slide up in line here as we take a look back up at the front. Joseph going to protect the bottom through 1 and 2. Try to run away with this thing here as he drives it into 3 and 4. We're going to see that white flag set the wave here. 1 lap to go in Lakeland, Florida. Joseph Grandy started 4th after getting quick time here in qualifying. Wasted no time getting to the front. Took him all of 2.5 laps. Final time through 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves. 100 grand going to start on the pole. Tonight's Flatliner Racing Bodies A Main. Rick Main P2. Vitale 3rd. Plump 4th. Landis 5th. Massow 6th. And Bob DeGood coming home 7th. You take a look here. Starting grid. Heat race number 2. Row 4 to the inside. The 313 of David Tormoski. Row 3 to the outside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker to the inside, the 67 of Ty Dickinson. Row 2 to the outside, the 31 of B-Temp, Brandon Templeton to the inside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row 1 for heat race number 2. Winner starts on the outside of the front row for tonight's A-Main to the outside, the 444 of Scott Rayome, and starting on the pole, the 218 of Superman, Kurt Schatzer. You can see there the team names. Well, we got 1 hammer down and 1 full throttle in row 1. 1 hammer down and 1 full throttle in row 2. This is going to be the battle of the teammates here. You know, who can work together, who can try to, there are ways to do this. No spoiler alerts. But if you haven't seen the new F1 movie, well, you should. Okay? Great movie. And as you know, in F1, man, there's a lot of teamwork. Lots and lots of teamwork being done in that movie. And it's no different. I mean, in real life, you really can't. You don't have the spotter or the communication that we have available to us here on the sim. But with that available to you, it's a lot easier here. I mean, for instance, I told you, started the race on green, so you can't control that. But later in the feature, Kurt Schatzer could say, hey, Brandon, I'm going to count this start down. We'll count to 3. Then we'll get rolling. And, I mean, we'll see stuff like that happen. I mean, the good teams are going to do that. They're going to try to work together. Any type of advantage you can get, take. Say that's not cheating, but the old adage in racing, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So, there's a little something to that, I would say. Get ready to play at the USA International Speedway. The green flag's high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway as Superman drops the hammer. Kurt trying to send that thing in here. Can he get it high and handsome up in front of that 444? Anthony Morano to the top shelf behind his teammate Scott Rayome, and it's an FTM 1-2 as we head into turn 3. Brandon Templeton trying to bring the house down here. He's up top. Gets around his teammate here into 218. The front 4 goes single file, but only for a moment as Ty Dickinson. He's trying to get a little slice of the pie here. He goes low, and man, he likes how it tastes. He's going to try to get a little more here through 3 and 4. Ty Dickinson, move him up into the top 4 here as he gets around Superman. The 67 got a cooking here early on as B-Temp trying to get a run here all over the back of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. He docks to the inside, but Anthony Morano, he's trying to work around his homie, Scott Rayome. Scott Rayome on the top shelf here, almost 3 wide as Anthony Morano tries to take over the lead, but Scott has it at the cross flag. We're halfway home as Scott Dickinson here. He wants a little more. That 67 is hungry, man. We thought, the pie was dessert, but that was just an appetizer here. He wants the rest of it. Can he get a run here off of 4? The 67 to the outside. He's at the door here of the 31. Brandon Templeton tightens up over the grass here. Enough room to slide in. The slide job works. But Dickinson cutting back underneath here. We're side by side coming to the white flag. 1 to go this time by as we come out of 4. Anthony Morano has the lead here, able to get it from Scott Rayome. But Scott with a big send here into 1. Gonna press the button here. Does he force Anthony up top? He does, but he gives him plenty of room. Final time through 3 and 4. Scott Rayome trying to shut the door here as we roll off the top shelf. Checkered flag wins. Scott Rayome holds on to win heat race number 2, followed by Anthony Morano, Ty Dickinson, Brandon Templeton, Kurt Schatzer, Jeff Barker, and Dave Tormaski. As we get ready to roll into our 3rd and final heat race here of the evening. Boy, oh boy, that was a dang good one. And we look forward to much more here as the night rolls on. Rounding out the field here, heat race number 3, the 055 of Mr. Wednesday Night. Brian Moore Sr., row 3 to the outside, the 41 of Pat Boyce to the inside, the 56 of Randy Shreve. Row 2 to the outside, the 007 of Sammy B. Sam Bachman to the inside, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler. Row 1 to the high side, the 99 of the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham, and starting on the pole, the 011 of Randall Dixon. Watch, it's going to work. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, see, I don't even know how it works. I could have swore we get into heat race number 3. I told you, it's going to work. Wasn't going to be funky, but hey, it was. It is. And forever always will be. Only 6 cars here. No Brian Moore Sr. for the 3rd and final heat race. So if he does show up for the feature, he'll be starting at the tail end here as we get ready to go. We'll go one more lap around here. Actually, not going to go this time by. See the fans, man. Look at them. They're having fun. That one guy, his arm's stuck like that. Hopefully he figures out how to get it down by the end of the night. Oh, man, there are a couple of them stuck like that. Look at that one guy in the white tank top, 3 rows down, heel hat behind him. I mean, that's wild. He looks like, man, he just needs to lay off the sauce a little bit. Yeah, Tyler, I miss Dino too, but he's got a real life job. Kind of runs an awesome racing thing, and maybe one day we can pressure Dean. I mean, when his announcers get old and they just can't do it anymore, Marty and I'll just step right in there. As the green flag set to wave. Heat race number 3. The green flag's high. It's ready to fly. We're underway at the USA International Speedway. Oh, a little contact there amongst the front row, and that allows Kelly Wheeler to shoot to the inside. He's trying to move on up here. Started 3rd, battling for 2nd. as Gavin Chatham, he wanted that outside, tried to hunt it down there, turn one, but got shoved up high by that 0-1-1, and now Gavin Chatham here trying to lick the paws here, trying to nurse the wounds. Come back at these boys. Plenty of time here. 5 laps to go here. As we're rolled down the backstretch into turn 3. Gavin Chatham whipping it on the outside. Randall Dixon there, the 0-1-1. Trying to slide up. Cuts it off on exit here. He likes a little lower entry there than the 99 until right there. As Gavin Chatham says, remember me, he gives him a little shove. He gets a shot then from his teammate, the 007. Pat Boyce involved, but 2 FTM guys to the rear. As Kelly Wheeler says, thank you, boys. I'm going to take over this lead here. Randy Shreves to the inside. Halfway, 3 to play. Kelly Wheeler trying to hold on here. Can he hold off Randall Dixon? As Randall, you know, he's got to be seeing the red mist in there. Definitely not a happy camper. But that's kind of the way it goes. You know, live by the sword, died by the sword. You expect a little contact here at the USA International Speedway, and that's what we've seen. 2 laps to go. Randall Dixon, you see he's got a feather out of the throttle. Had a big run there on Kelly Wheeler. Didn't want to do it the wrong way, but we're running out of time to play here. As we roll off of turn 4, white flag set to wave. Final time around. Kelly Wheeler, that left front lifting off the ground there in the center of the corner. He tightened up on exit. Randall Dixon to the bottom through the final set of quarters. Can Randall Dixon go hunting downstairs? Can he get it back? Checkered flag in the air. Kelly Wheeler going to win heat race number 3, followed by Randall Dixon, Randy Shreves, Pat Boyce, Sam Bachman, Gavin Chatham, and Brian Moore Sr. As we take a short break, we'll be right back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. About that time here, 30 seconds until we go play in our first Flatline Racing Bodies event here of the evening. 358 Modifieds fixed. Running all larger tracks here this season, so, you know, if maybe that piques your interest, hey, get out here. C2CRL.com if your iRating's under 3,000. You know, we do charge dues around here, but, you know, you get win stickers, trophies for every division. 4 seasons a year. We have, obviously, the seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall. Just noticed I did that in order. I was thinking, man, did I sound dumb and do that out of order? But no, I did. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Yep, okay. You know, winter kind of spans. You know, you can go either way with that one. That's a win-win. You look at it like that. Let's take a look here. Starting lineup for tonight's Flatline Racing Bodies. 358 modified feature. Row 11 to the inside, the 055 of Brian Moore Sr. Row 10 to the outside, the 313 of David Tormoski to the inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row 9 to the outside, the 99 of Gavin Chatham. To the inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Row 8 to the top shelf, the 28 of Joe Massow. To the inside, the 007 of the Sam Akonda, Sam Bachman. Row 7 to the outside, the 218 of Superman, Kurt Schatzer. To the inside, the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Row 6 to the outside, the 41 of the Librarian, Pat Boyce. To the inside, the 31 of B-Temp, Brandon Templeton. Row 5 to the outside, the Deuce of Harold Klump. To the inside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Row 4 to the outside, the 67 of Ty Dickinson. To the inside, the 213 of Michael Vitale. Row 3 to the outside, the 011 of Randall Dixon. To the inside, the 32 of the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Arana. Row 2 to the outside, the 187 of the Real Deal, Rick Main. To the inside, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler. Row 1 for your Flatline Racing Bodies 358 modified feature at the USA International Speedway. To the high side, the 444 of Scott Rayome. To the inside, starting on the pole, the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Okay, sorry about the long pause there, but it took me forever to realize that my nickname for Scott Rayome is helmets. I forgot someone, you know, told me he smells like, I believe it was mayonnaise and bacon. Could be wrong. Scott will know, but I just now remembered calling the 444 the helmet, man. It's no Joseph Grandy, no Brian Moore Sr. The Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off the racetrack. 25 laps to play at the USA International Speedway, and we are underway. Kelly Wheeler trying to slide up in front of that Hellman's machine, but mayonnaise on the top shelf, slick hair and all, just slides his way up into the lead. Scott Rayome got that 444 dancing on the top shelf, and here comes the Real Deal, Rick Main. He's going to follow suit here. He's going to jump on the ship. He's upstairs. Can he find a run? Can he get to the outside of the 110 of Kelly Wheeler here? Kelly could have came up, maybe should have came up, but didn't shut the door. Doesn't throw the slider there either. And here comes Rick Main pulling on the rope, trying to get himself up into P2. Almost 3 wide. Kelly Wheeler with a good run on the bottom through 1 and 2. Kelly Wheeler Look at him. Surprising speed on the bottom of 1 and 2. Scott Rayome going to go down, try to pinch him here, not give him a lot of room on the entry to 3. That's going to slow him up off of 4. And now Scott Rayome, he says, Manny, you want to try it? I'm going to go down here and try it. And here comes Anthony Morano. 2 for 1 discount through 1 and 2. Little contact. Rick Main going to get in back into him. Ty Dickinson, he pays the price here. Gets hard up into the outside wall. The 67 of Ty Dickinson was right on the rear end of those guys with the caution flag waves. Not too sure what did end up bringing out the caution here. Might have been Michael Vitale, possibly. I see Joseph Grandy did get back out on the racetrack, just missed the starting grid. And well, let's see. It does look like Michael Vitale possibly involved in a crash here. Let's see it. It was all stacking up there. Oh, okay. So in the original contact, the right front broke. You could see it wouldn't turn. He towed it, but it was enough for the caution flag. And hopefully Michael Vitale, who did the right thing, man, got up out of the way, towed that thing, tried to just, get out of the way. He didn't even look for a caution. He gets rewarded with, hopefully because he went in the pit so early, he could get out there. A longer racetrack, it helps you a little bit with the tow time. So hopefully, man, I like when, guys don't, you can tell, I've been there. You're frustrated. You bring out a caution on first. We've all been there. And I can tell you that wasn't one of them. How quick he jumped out of that car. There's no shot. He was ready for it to just be over. So hopefully Michael here, rewarded, can get back out there and charge his way back up through the field. There's still plenty of time to do the dance here. Is Kurt Schatzer. He's one of the guys, man, he put the dancing shoes on. He started 14th. He's up to 8th. Superman on the move here. Gets to start up high outside of row 4 when we get back to rolling. Keep an eye on that man here. You'll see the cape flapping in the breeze here as we start to tick off the laps. So keep an eye on the 218 here. Brendan Templeton, a guy kind of stuck in traffic. Joseph Grandy, he was clearly quick, won the heat race number 1. Not sure, though, what's going on with Grandy. Possibly some connection issues. I see they have just blinked out. Man, that may have been it. As we'll watch the pace car pull off. Scott Rayome chooses the top shelf. He drops the hammer. And we're back underway at the USA International Speedway. Maybe doing his friend there, teammate in the 32, a little favor here, a little countdown. Anthony was on the outside of row 2 and P4. As you see these guys bouncing around. Harold Klump in the deuce, he gets sent to the inside. But back to what I was saying, if you're good teammates, they're going to count it down. They're going to work together. And, that's for Scott Rayome. Why wouldn't you? Now you got these guys battling hard for second. If Anthony gets there, he's going to want to win, but he's going to do it the right way. And, at the end of the day, you're truthfully going to trust your teammate a little more, I think, than just some random guy in another shop. So Scott wants to get Anthony to P2. Try to maybe, hold off the soldiers here as Anthony rages on, man, to the outside. Just can't find enough to inch out in front. It's going to be close at the line. Man, give it to Kelly Wheeler, I think. As Ty Dickinson, remember Ty. He was involved in an unfortunate mix-up here. Kelly Wheeler now maybe not liking Ty for that, but I can tell you, Ty Dickinson, that is... Man, he is taking a whole lot more than I would be taking. I can tell you that right now. Ty Dickinson. I don't know who painted the bullseye on that thing tonight, but he is not going to be happy with him here as Ty's just Can't race that thing up and get it in there here as you see these guys battling in the back. Bob the Good going to send it in. Gets into the side of the 213 of Michael Vitale. From there, they're just going to come to a stop. Caution flag waves. That's our second caution flag of the evening. But boy, oh boy, Ty Dickinson. Let's see, Mama. I think Mama's out there watching tonight. Do we have time to run out there and rub the bullseye off that thing? Because, man, if we could keep this thing clean, if we could keep those fenders straight to 67, gonna have something here, but he's gotta find a way, you know, to keep those battle wounds to a minimum here. Those front tires are only gonna take so much contact. Car's only gonna be so forgiving here, so he's gonna have to do it the right way. And Kelly Wheeler, he was fortunate enough for that caution. Had lost 2, maybe 3 spots. Gets them all back there, and, well, lucky for him, you know. 67 may get the cool off here. I'm telling you, if I'm Ty after that, I know stuff happens quick, man, but they're battling through wide. I know Kelly wants to come down, but Ty's got to do something. And he keeps getting bounced around. He's got to find a way. Get that thing up there on the podium. He knows he has speed. Things just ain't going his way tonight. We'll see if it decides to change here as we get ready to go back racing. Scott Rayome takes that FTM 444 on the high side one more time. And maybe, you know, he just likes the high side because his teammate is now on the inside of row 2, but he's going to stay up top. Green flag waves. We're back underway. 17 laps to play. Oh, they're almost 3 wide here. Ty Dickinson, I'm telling you, I told you. He had a little taste of dessert earlier. He was quick, man. And if these guys don't watch out this 67, oh, here he goes. He's going to get 2 of them because Rick Bain, and I believe that was Kelly Wheeler. It was Kelly Wheeler. He had come up across the 187, I think, of Rick Main. Maybe didn't know Rick was that high, but I mean, he is definitely there, and he's been there for quite some time. You can see Rick, you know, I mean, that's up there, but he's there right there. And Anthony kind of floating up. Kelly maybe panicked when he saw Anthony floating up. I mean, Anthony did leave room, not a lot of room, but you can see left room. By that time, it was already too late. Ty Dickinson, man, he's just throws 2 fingers up in the air, says deuces, drives on by in that 67. Ends up getting 2 of them back here. There is no way. There is no way. We're still racing. Did they really not have a caution for that? Okay, I jumped the gun. My apologies for hitting that rewind button. We're still racing. That is crazy. But, hey, I don't make the rules here. I'm not iRacing. All I know is we're still racing here in Lakeland, Florida. And now Anthony Morano has his sights set on his teammate. And Ty Dickinson trying to reel in the FDM boys here. He's got himself on the podium. Kurt Schatzer right behind. I mentioned earlier started 14th. Up to 4th. Well, the man behind him started right behind him, 15th up to 5th. Both up 10 spots. We'll have to see if they can keep it rolling here, keep the momentum going. 11 laps to go this time by for Scott Rayome, who I believe found victory lane here last week. Or it was Thursday. It was Thursday for me at Lanier. Like the short track, he didn't mention to me, you know, like in USA, but it seems to be going his way. Now, this is where, you got to think here. The virtual world, we're not getting any money, but, maybe in real life the boss cutting the checks here. Well, real life, never mind. I take it back. You don't even have a spotter. You got to run your own race. But I'll tell you what, if these FDM guys don't figure it out amongst themselves, Ty Dickinson gonna figure it out for him here, man. The kid is coming. The 67, Ty Dickinson. Welcome to the picture, and I warned you too about that man with the cape, Superman Kurt Schatzer. We talked about him being in fourth. Well, the whole gang, everybody's coming to join the party here. Scotty trying his best here to fend off the wolves. But, man, it is the witching hour, and it is going to get interesting here. We are coming to 8 laps to go. Anthony Morano goes up high. Ty Dickinson trying to find a little grip there through the center. Can't do it. Anthony Morano, though, with a big run. Can he get to the inside here of Scott Rayome? The answer's no. Rayome slides up. Anthony stays on the bottom, side by side. We're going to get a slide job here through one, I think. Scotty not going to give him the room here. Going to pinch him down on corner entry. Anthony Morano fighting for grip off the exit. He gets back up in line here. Going to shut the door. And now Mr. Dickinson here. He is licking his lips, man. Smells blood in the water, but there's a new leader. Anthony Morano. He found a little trick there on the bottom through 3 and 4. Must be some grip down there. He hooks it up on the bottom, gets by Scotty. And with 6 laps to go, Anthony Morano looking to drive away here as we go back. Michael Vitale throws a move there on Pat Boyce. Pat Boyce, oh, he cuts back underneath the Desert Demon Terry Latis. He's got to play nice. Jeff Parker here, he's getting a little piece. Oh, they're bumping here behind. That's Joe Massow getting into Gavin Chatham. They're 3 wide. Ricky Main on the top shelf as we go back. Take a peek here. Battle for second has calmed down. Scott Rayome doesn't feel as much pressure here from Ty. But Ty, man, he is like the little brother, won't go away here, just nagging, wants to go play. As Sam Bachman, he sees that cool FTM teammates, or those 2 FTM teammates in front of him in 1 and 2. He'd love to join him in 3rd as we get a caution flag. Caution flag one more time here at the USA International Speedway. Might have been Brandon Templeton here. Let's see. Looks like it is Brandon Templeton. You can see, got in the wall. Right front wouldn't turn. It was already broke. Goes around. Caution flag. Gonna wave, but not done. Maybe for the 213 of Michael Vitale. That's a tough break there for him. But now we get to reset. Line them back up, re-rack them, re-stack them, and then we're going to break them here. 3 to play when we go back underway at the USA International Speedway. Let's see here. What's going through Anthony Morano, you know? Sitting there cool, calm, collected. Some heat in the tires, just making sure they don't cool off too much. Not going back just yet here. Lights are still on the Steve King Foundation pace car, so we'll do one more trip around the sun here, and then we'll have a 3-lap shootout. Of course, next, as always, here for your Hometown Heroes, we'll be running the 360 Sprint cars. We'll be running them here at the USA International Speedway as well, so make sure you stick around for part 2. As normally, don't get me wrong, great race, but normally, I mean, it's a sprint car league. We're migrating a little bit, but normally we get a dang good show there. Our side, we'll see as our king, our leader, the preacher, Blake Chapman, not here for this one. We'll see if he decides to grace us with his presence for the 360. As the green flag waves, we're back underway. We've got 3 laps to play. Scott Rayome goes to the bottom through 1 and 2, trying to protect there from Ty Dickinson. Ty wants to get a bigger bite there, but just couldn't find the grip. And now Sammy B roaring around that top shelf where Mama hides the cookies, as my man Marty says. He is coming with a full head of steam. 2 laps to go. Now he's going to try that middle here through 1 and 2. All this happening behind your leader in that 32. Ty Dickinson gets into the outside wall. Sam Bachman with a little slide job. Can't do it. Ty going to stay upstairs. Sammy going to play nice here. But right now, Anthony Morano, final time around the USA International Speedway. Can the 32 hold on to bring home another checkered flag here? Through 3 and 4. Goes to the bottom. No mistakes here for the 32, who sees that checkered flag. And he's going to bring home another one here this season at the USA International Speedway. Scott Rayome, P2. Sam Bachman, 3rd, holding on for the FTM. 1, 2, 3. Ty Dickinson shakes off the bullseye paint there. Parks that thing inside the top 5. That was a good race for Ty after all that he had been through. Way to hang on. And Superman flew the cape the whole way up inside the top 5. Good run for Kurt Schatzer. But it is Sam Bachman, the man coming home P3. Sam Bachman, as I get it off the rear bumper camera, for some reason I thought, hey, what would be a good interview camera? The rear bumper, apparently. As you know the deal. Gotta be quiet. Gotta be quiet. He's got a grand entrance coming here, so everyone be quiet. Shh. There we go. Cracking the whip. Sammy Bachman, man. Hard charger up 12 spots. Dude, this is, man, you just kind of had to make sure the helmet was on tight and hold on. It seemed like difficult to pass, and, man, it was wild all around you.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, especially at the beginning of the race. But once I kind of got in my groove, I felt like I had a pretty good car. And once I got up to like the top 5, up there, those last couple laps, I seen Ty hit the wall, and I knew that was my chance to pass him or whatever, and ended up dead. But it was a good race overall, I feel like.
Yeah, speaking of chances to pass, I saw you, make another pass there. It was right there whenever we saw Rick Mayne and I believe Kelly Wheeler make some contact there going down the front stretch. Dude, how shocked were you? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, Sam. I looked at the dang replay. I thought a freaking caution came out. Were you shocked that a caution didn't come out there, man? I couldn't believe
They missed him and kept going, but I was a little surprised that there was no caution.
Well, hey, man, at the end of the day, I don't know what the incident points looked like for you, but you get the hard charger. You know what that means. There's some bonus points for you. And these podiums really add up, brother. So I know you're going to need them. You keep letting your teammate click off all these wins. But, hey, man, at the end of the day, 1, 2, 3 for FTM. Hell of a run, Sammy. Who you want to thank?
All the boys over at FTM, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop, Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, uh, Flatline Bodies for sponsoring, and you, Shaggy, for broadcasting.
Hey, great run, man. We going to run some sprint cars, or are we calling it?
Yeah, I think Anthony talked me kind of into it, so I'll be there.
Oh, hey, there we go, man. Go get him, Sam. I'll be rooting for you, brother.
Thank you.
Sam Bachman bringing home P3. Now we're going to bring up the Hellman's man, Mr. Mayonnaise and Bacon here, I believe. Wasn't that the combination? Bacon?
Could have been. Who knows? It depends on the day.
Scotty, man, it seemed like, dude, you were quick, but one mistake there. You had a little slip up through 3 and 4, and Anthony, dude, he nailed it. I didn't even know the bottom was down there. he made you pay for it. And it seemed like once he got back around you, you got into the rhythm. You even pulled back away from Tyler. But just that one mistake, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's one of them cases where when you're the leader, you don't know what's fast. And I was trying to run that slider and almost pitched the car sideways through the bumps in 1 and 2. And then in 3 and 4, I just missed it a little bit. I slid up a little higher than I entered a little higher than I wanted to. And I saw, obviously, Tony was below me there, and I expected I was going to get the run coming off. And he stayed right door to door with me. And at that point, it's like, all right, game over. I'm not going to challenge you. You're way faster than me anyway. So, it was kind of like, just go ahead, take your win. So, but Ty was fast right behind me there. I just couldn't figure out where to go. So, luckily, I think he would have had me coming out of after that last caution. He would have had me coming out of whatever corner it was because he had the run on the outside of me. But I think he tagged the wall. It slowed him down, and Sam was able to get around him. But I mean, I'll take it. It's the first time I've ran on a Wednesday night in this new format here. So, I'll take a podium anytime I get to talk to you. It's always fun.
Yeah, man. Especially you win Thursday, you keep the momentum rolling. You come in here with a P2, and I know, I mean, let's be real. Everybody wants to win, but it does take some sting out of it when you go 1, 2, 3 with the boys. I mean, that's becoming quite the occurrence. But man, it's got to feel good to do that.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime, even if we don't sweep a podium, anytime an FTM guy's up on the podium, it's a win for all of us, in my opinion. So, I'll take the podium, take the sweep, and congrats to Tony and Sam. I mean, I mean, come on, if you can get a podium with Tony and Sam, that automatically is like a championship in my eyes because these guys win everything they touch. So, I'll definitely take that.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be right in the heat of the discussion for the points at the end of the year, like always. But Scott,
Yeah,
keep running like this, man. You'll put yourself into it. I know you. This is week 3. You keep coming back. You get 2 drop weeks. You never know, brother.
Yeah, unfortunately, Wednesdays, I'm either working, I won't get home in time, or I'm usually doing tires for the in real life car. But had a little incident today. Had to go to the doctor, so I was able to jump in here and um, be able to race with the fellas here. So don't ever get bit by a tick. There's no fun.
No kidding, man. I hate them here in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
But hey, man. Congratulations. Oh, dude, that's no good. That is no good. But congratulations on a big P2, man. Like I said, FTM 1, 2, 3. Congrats, man. Who you want to thank?
Obviously, same routine. Oh, hang on 1 second. Let me minimize my screen. I can do this for a change. All the guys over at FTM, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop, Dean at Super Dirt Car, Expert Installations, you, ShaggyTV, that's on my car. I hope you got a shot of it tonight. What do we got over there? We got Weisco. Oh, those guys don't matter. I think that's it, man. Hi, Mom Lens. That's on my car somewhere. Look at that. I finally figured it out.
Hey, man, hell of a run. You going to play around in the sprint car?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, brother. I'll be watching. Good luck, brother.
Thanks, man. We'll see you, Jack.
Scott Rayome coming home P2, and now we're going to bring up the man. Everyone know the drill by now. Quick time! There we go. The Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Oh, you know the deal, man. Me and Scotty, we could talk all night. We had to make you wait a little bit. Man,
I thought maybe Dino snuck in here with you or something.
You made him wait a little bit too, and I mean, it was clear he admitted it. And, you could kind of see the field bunching up behind, but man, with the racetrack the way it was, you had to wait for him to make that mistake. And man, when he finally did through 3 and 4, did you know you were gonna find that grip down there on the bottom? Because dude, I didn't know it was there. I thought even with the little slip up, you maybe pull even, have to throw another slide job, but dude, you just drove right by.
Yeah, it was definitely beyond surprising. Hit the throttle, come out for the car launch. I was like, whoa, yeah, buddy, now we're talking. And he's like, what is that? I'm like, I don't know. It gripped up and I'm going. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, not that you would have wanted one or whatever, but were you aware? I mean, that was kind of enough behind you, that contact. Were you surprised that there was no caution? I mean, that would have kind of gave you that reset. I'm talking, with 15 to go. That was with
Yeah, they're with
with
Rick and
Kelly and
I'm
yeah.
not sure what happened. I thought maybe I got into Kelly or something. I didn't know because I just I was looking over in that direction in VR to see if I was leaving Kelly room. All of a sudden, I saw the side of his car going around. I'm like,
Yeah,
crap.
I think he wanted to leave you plenty of room and didn't know that Rick was up there, and they just
Yeah,
ran out of room
I
together.
don't. I never
That's his
heard
racing
anything
as a
about a
kid.
car outside. I knew Kelly was there. I had no idea Rick was up there too. So I mean, definitely didn't mean to go pinching people, but I had no idea. I couldn't see Rick there. I just knew Kelly was outside of me still. So just making the move I had to make and just yeah, trying to make the bottom work there because the bumps there in the middle, 1 and 2 here, are so weird. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do in the sprint car race with that. We'll see, I guess. Try to figure a way around them as we go. And but yeah, I mean the car was great there in the 358. It's been quite some time since I think any of us really ran USA. It's not really a track we go too much anymore, so it's fun to get out here and run on these big tracks. I love the big tracks, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, you guys looked like you had fun tonight. That was a great race. You raced everybody good, hard, and clean. And well, I don't know if you looked at that replay, but dude, you left enough room on the bottom for 4 wide. So don't think that you did anything wrong there. You were doing what you got to do. Hell of a race, Anthony. Congrats, man, on the big win. Team 1-2-3. Who you want to thank, bud?
Yeah, it's always the best part getting the boys up there on the podium with me. So big shout out to them for great runs. They probably Sherry, the boys at FTM, Dean at Super Dare Car, Swan Speed Shop, High Mom Lens, DJ Sim Shop, Vertex Graphics, X-Men Installation, Casper Flagstone, ShaggyTV, Flatline Racing Bodies for sponsoring the division. You for doing the broadcast and everyone at Coast to Coast.
All right, man. Well, hey, I'll see you in the sprint car. Go get him, Anthony.
Thanks a lot, bud.
Anthony Morano winning the 358 modifieds here. Brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Stick around, and we'll be right back with your 360 sprint cars at the USA International Speedway next.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion, trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight when we talked about it.
going off the cuff here. We're back live. I don't like it when I do long interviews. I like it when I do long interviews. But I like cutting the race short. You know, man, I'm here. I'm ready to go. Or those I'm ready to go. It don't take me that long to cut up here into the other session. Once I'm ready to go, seeing what's going on with these guys. Right now, Terry Landis running the Yoo-Hoo 360 sprint machine here through 1 and 2. Gets a little loose coming off the top shelf there. Catches it. A little lose some speed, though, doing that. So, you know, you want to work those kinks out right now. You don't want to be doing that here when we go into qualifying. It's a little loose. Anthony Morano, let's see what he does off the top of 4. He catches it but stays up against the outside wall. There, you know, avoiding those bumps. Kind of like he talked to us about. Let's see here, this camera. I kind of adjusted this. This is my interview camera. Let's see if this is going to work for the sprint cars. I think I have a left front tire camera. You probably don't want. Let's see what the left front is. No, that's okay. That's okay. It'll cut to that every now and then. That's could be worse. Let's see. We got some people in other lobbies. We got Kim Bixler. He's actually pulling off the racetrack. Terrible guy to experiment with and show you. Anthony Morano pulling off, and I can tell you they're pulling off because he just saw it change to white. We're ready to go here, and I did not save my GD camera there, so now it's going to rotate real quick here when qualifying starts. That's going to bug the heck out of me. I've got to bring up the camera thing, make that a scenic group, not save it again so it can frustrate me here when I come back in the future years. And it looks like Steve Fernberg here. He's going to be first out, Steve. We'll watch your lap here, but got to do this first. There we go. We won't save it again. And now it's going to be all right in the world for this session as Steven Fernberg takes that 29 machine, muscles it around the outside through 1 and 2, straight as an arrow there through the center of the corner. Loses it a little bit coming off of 2, but just wants to keep it as straight as he can here. Keep that speed up. Likes the outside through 3 and 4. What's it look like at the line here for Steven Fernberg? Going to be P3 here. 3/10 off the mark is the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham. Man, oh man. Here he goes, really setting the bar here with an 18.41. Can he get even quicker here? Second time around, Gavin Chatham comes across the line. Not going to improve, doesn't need to. Gavin Chatham, top dog by a substantial amount here. Now only a 10.5 over Rick Mame, but still. Oh, man, tenths of seconds in racing. That's a lot. Good luck here making that up as the Desert Demon, he improves his second time around. Goes to P13 as Isaac Bowman parks that 9 machine inside the top 5. P5, Sammy Bachman 9th as qualifying comes to a close. My apologies if you can pick up my dang dog barking in the background. Wife's got him back in the bedroom. There's no further away he can go. And I love that guy. He's like my son, so I can't go back and yell at him. That's my little boy here till I have one. As we get ready, take a look. Starting grid, heat race number 1. Only going to have 2 heat races here. Because got 9 guys. 8, I think we may have had 18, but I think it was 17. We'll see. But let's take a look. Pat Boyce, the librarian, rounds out the field in that 41 machine on the inside of row 5. Row 4 to the top shelf, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast. Jeff Barker to the inside, the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Row 3 to the outside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. To the inside, the 007 of Sammy Bachman. Row 2 to the high side, the 99 of the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham. To the inside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row 1 for heat race number 1. Winner starts on the pole for tonight's Flatline Racing Bodies 360 Sprint Car feature. To the outside, the 9 of Isaac Bowman. And starting on the pole, the 789 of Cale Bixler. Okay, see, that's that magic I'm talking about. Heat race number 1 just works. You know, the wizard just showed up. No refresh, don't get it, don't understand it, never will, never wanna. I do want to see some good racing here one more time in Lakeland, Florida. We got the 360s up here, set, ready to go. Heat race number 1. This will determine the inside rows here for the feature. There's only 2 heat races. So you finish second, you're going to start on the inside of row 2, so on and so forth. Third, inside of row 3. We can all probably figure that out. Where 4th and 5th would start. But these guys, they got to figure it out on the racetrack, so we can do the math. We roll through 3 and 4 for the final time. The green flag is high. She's set to fly. 6 laps to play in the clay. Heat race number 1 is underway. Cale Bixler able to slide up in front of the 9 of Isaac Bowman, but here comes your quick time. Gavin Chatham storming off that top shelf. Oh, watch out here, though. Anthony Morano with a slide job for 3rd. He gets by his teammate as the battle side by side for the lead. Isaac Bowman can't get that 9 up in front. He's going to lose 2 going down the backstretch. 2nd to 4th here, battle up for the lead. Anthony Morano sticking it downstairs where the sun don't shine, takes the lead here in Florida. 4 laps to play. Cale Bixler here trying to come back here as he fights on that top shelf, moves himself back into P2, but the 789 maybe too little too late up there as Gavin Chatham swinging back on the bottom. Falls back in line. Cale Bixler with a little slider to protect here through 1 and 2. Gavin Chatham tries to come back. Bigger run off the 2. Going to take a little sneak peek on the bottom. Uses the grass, kind of rotates that car. Slides up in front of the 789 and Gavin Chatham. Welcome to P2 here as Terry Landis trying to walk away here from the 7 of Bobby Good as Gavin Chatham last time by ran the quickest lap of the race here. Does he have enough time? Go up and flirt with his teammate as the white flag displayed. 1 lap to play. Anthony Morano trying to drive away. Not a lot of time. Final time down the backstretch into 3. Anthony Morano going to protect here. Sees the checkered flag wave, and he's going to start on the pole for tonight's feature here at the USA International Speedway. Gavin Chatham, Cale Bixler, Isaac Bowman, Terry Landis, Bob DeGood, Sam Bachman, Jeff Barker, and Pat Boyce round out the field. Okay, there were 8 teams. I thought it was going to be a 9 and an 8. Somebody slipped by me here as we take a look. Starting grid, heat race number 2. David Tormaski in the 313 rounds out the field on the inside of row 5. Row 4 to the top shelf, the 67 of Ty Dickinson. To the inside, the 444 of Scott Rayon. Row 3 to the outside, the 006 of Mike Watson. To the inside, the 29 of Steven Fernberg. Row 2 to the outside, the 187 of Rick Main. To the inside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Row 1 for heat race number 2. Winner starts on the outside of the front row to the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. And starting on the pole, the 75 of the mare, Steve Bixler. Missing 2 guys here. No Fernberg, no Tormoski here. So only 7 guys lined up for this heat race. We have a couple, sneak out here, try to get on the track once we go, but not going to be out there for the start. Going to have to start from the pits. Pacing around one more lap before we take the green flag, and the mayor are going to try to maybe, show his son how to do it. Gil Bixler going to say, hey, you go do this. This is how you get it done. This is how you win this thing. We got the doc, Mike Watson. The outside of row 3, can he sneak up into the picture? A lot of dogs in this thing, man. I would not want to be stuck in this heat race. This is going to be a tough one. If you want to make any passes, maneuver your way through the field, you are going to have to earn it. As the green flag's high, it's set to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. Ooh, look at the high side banger. Patrick Spangler wasting no time at all. Got that red, white, and blue machine rolling, man. I don't know if that's a 4th of July special, but look at the high side banger. Oh, boy, the Stars and Stripes lead the way as lap number 1 in the books, the high side banger. Meanwhile, behind, battle on here for 3rd, Randy Shreves trying to find a way under Rick Main. Oh, Steve Bixler with a little bit of a hiccup there in front of the 56. That's going to make Randy lose 2 spots. The mayor going to lose 1. Is Mike Watson able to do exactly what I said? Kind of just pick up spots here as guys get greedy. Going to look to the outside here. Can he find a way to fish around the outside of the 75? No, going to have to take a peek underneath. Can't find it down there either. Shoots right up to that top shelf. Going to try to build back up a run here. Steve Bixler looks to have pulled out the gap a little bit. And Patrick Spangler tries to hold off the 187 of Rick Main. Rick Main to the bottom through 3. He slides up, able to get right behind the high side banger. We're running out of time. 2 laps to go as Mike Watson reels back in Steve Bixler. Are we going to have a battle for 3rd here? Bixler gets a little loose. Mike going to take a peek on the inside. Slide job through 3 white flag waves. 1 lap to play as Rick Main takes the lead from the high side banger. Patrick Spangler, not too sure what happened to Patrick there, but he kisses the wall one more time. Final time through 3 and 4. Rick Main's going to win heat race number 2, followed by Patrick Spangler. Oh, Mike Watson, Steve Bixler, Randy Shreves, Ty Dickinson, and Scott Rayome. We'll be right back with your final feature of the evening here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Stick around. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Sorry about the heart attack there. I thought my mouse was dead. It turns out it was. It was unplugged, so we weren't getting back to that. It died at the worst time. Scrambled around the cord. We're back, and we're about ready to race here at the USA International Speedway. As we get set to look at our 18-car, 25-lap starting lineup. Rounding out the field, row 9 to the outside, the 313 of David Tormaski. To the inside, the 41 of the Librarian, Pat Boyce. Row 8 to the top shelf, the 29 of Steven Fernberg. To the inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Row 7 to the outside, the 444 of Scott Rayome. To the inside, the 007 of Sam Bachman. Row 6 to the outside, the 67 of Ty Dickinson. To the inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row 5 to the outside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. To the inside, the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Row 4 to the outside, the 75 of the Mayor, Steve Bixler. To the inside, the 9 of Isaac Bowman. Row 3 to the outside, the 006 of Mike the Doc Watson. To the inside, the 789 of Cale Bixler. Row 2 to the outside, the 39 of the High Side Banger, Patrick Spangler. To the inside, the 99 of the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham. Row 1 for your Flatline Racing Bodies 360 Sprint Car feature. To the outside, the 187 of the Real Deal, Rick Mayne. And starting on the pole, the 32 of the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. As we pace around one more lap before we go play in the clay here. See the track, man, it has got some shine going into one. Boys are going to have to really watch the throttle here, make sure they got it down. Because it's about that time to go. You don't want to have that hiccup here. As we roll into one, you notice we're missing 2 guys. No Fernberg, no Tormaski. So 16 guys take the grid. We'll see how many get to bring it home here. And most importantly, who is going to bring home that checkered flag? As we watch them roll off a 4 here for the final time, Steve King Foundation pace car pulls in. The green flag is high. She's set to fly. 25 laps to play in the clay. We're underway. Anthony Morano able to slide right up, and man, he's going to shut that door here. As that is not the button I thought I picked. Is, oh, Rick Mayne, slide job for the lead. He's coming back with a little piece of his own. Rick Mayne leads the way, lap 1. As here comes Patrick Spangler. We got 3 dogs in the hunt here. Oh, Rick Mayne up and over, barrel rolling. I have no idea how Rick, no! No, he saw it coming. He probably didn't know the right front was broke. And Terry Landis going to pay the ultimate price for that one. That is a tough break, and iRacing not going to, they apparently don't consider Rick Mayne barrel rolling down the backstretch an incident here. SDK doesn't, so going to have to rewind the old school way. And Rick, man, he was grooving up top, but you can see, I mean, Anthony, you knew this door was going to kind of shut here. But he just thought maybe he'd be able to power around the outside, but not enough room. Just goes up over that right rear tire. Somehow the wing must have had a magnet on it. Comes back. Does that barrel roll, keeps rolling. They kind of mixing it up behind, but you can see that right front tire. There's no y'all. The left front bouncing as well, actually. And we're going to bring out our first caution here of the night. And Anthony Morano will lead the way here. Patrick Spangler inherits P2. See what that 39 can do. He's always a guy anytime you get in a sprint car. Got to keep an eye out. And turns out my man, the pastor, Blake Chapman, has a church meeting tonight. That's why Blake is not here. That's what the drop weeks are for. And, you know, I'm going to put a word in. I don't know what church he goes to, but we'll see if we can. I told Steve, you know, put in a word. We'll see if we can't pass the collection plate. Maybe get an iRacing brief. You know, that way Blake, he can still do the meetings. You know, he can just pop an ear off on the headset. That way he doesn't have to miss any of these important races. Because, you know, I mean, maybe, you know, we turn it into the church of iRacing. Maybe Blake ends up teaching us the Lord through slide jobs and going 3 wide. I mean, the Lord works in mysterious ways. Maybe Blake will figure it out. As the green flag is high, she is set to fly. Lap 22 is underway. We aren't on lap 22. We'd almost be over. We got 22 left to play. But we may get a caution flag one more time as Tyler Bowman, Cale Bixler made contact, but they're able to keep rolling. Man, we still got guys bouncing around back here in the back. Scott Rayome a little slow. Boy, oh boy, nobody playing nice here in Lakeland, Florida. You got to earn what you're eating around here. And Gavin Chatham trying to earn it off that top shelf here. Got a big run. Going to look underneath that 39. Down low where the sun don't shine. Not able to get it at the line. Patrick Spangler holds on, but Gavin Chatham throws it in. Slide job. Patrick Spangler cuts a rug underneath here. He dips, ducks, dives, and dodges. 39 back on to P2. All this going off the rear bumper there of the 32, Anthony Morano. He's just absolutely loving every second of this. His teammate battling with Patrick Spangler, not allowing Patrick to kind of cinch his teeth in that 32 and try to suck out some of the gap. Isaac Bowman, he's got that 9 car on the move up 2 spots. Real big mover once again. Ty Dickinson got that 67 machine rolling. That orange and blue 67 up 5 spots, started 12 up to 7. Feeling pressure, though, from the 7, 8, 9 of Cale Bixler. Cale Bixler trying to look to the inside here. He gets the spot as we cross the line. Slide job, short slider. Able to get it done here, but now Rick Main here. He sees blood in the water, smells it, gets both of them. You kind of saw that coming. Contact between Ty Dickinson and Cale Bixler. Not too sure exactly what initiated it here. It looks like Cale gets a little loose, comes down off that top shelf. And Ty Dickinson just minding his own business down here. You can see he's coming up a little bit right as he comes down. You know, that's racing. Cale just gets a little loose. Nothing intentional about that. And Ty Dickinson may cut his night short once again here. We'll be able to come in for a quick repair, but going to have to make up all that time. Not going to be easy for the driver of the 67, but if anybody can do it, Ty can hunker down, put his head down, go back there and get some back. As we pace around the USA International Speedway, Anthony Morano is your leader. Patrick Spangler second, Gavin Chatham third, the Doc, Mike Watson fourth, and Isaac Bowman rounds out your top 5. Now, this is no shot anybody else in the field, but good luck getting on this podium. Need some help here. These guys, they're quick. They were walking away with this thing. Mike can maybe steal a card or two out of the playbook of these guys in front of him and reel them back in. Stay green. Sticking with these guys, it has not been an easy task. And Anthony Morano proving he's not going to be easy to beat here at the USA International Speedway. I mean, the guy behind him right now, that 99 inside of row 2, that's his teammate. He's the sprint car guy. I be the first to say that. Gavin not really having any success getting around him right now, and that's saying something. Anthony's got these things figured out, man. He's really starting to learn these sprint cars. We'll have to see as I punch my microphone. That probably didn't sound good. My apologies. Cleaning the glasses. We'll have to see if Anthony Morano can hold off that 39, or if the high side banger can find a way to maybe get to that high side, bang it down, take over the lead. As the green flag waves, we're back underway. Good restart there for Anthony Morano. Gavin Chatham flirting with that inside here, trying to pull even with Patrick Spangler. He does. He clears him as he goes into 3. Patrick Spangler trying to go back downstairs here through 3 and 4. Finds the grip, but Gavin Chatham storming back on the high side. Caution flag waves. Scott Rayome with a torn off nose wing here in the exit of 4. You can see it started up in front of him, though, with the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Possibly Rick Main here in the 187. Let's see if we can figure out what happened over here. So Terry just running through the center. Rick maybe thinks he's going to have him clear. Doesn't. Contact there with the 161. Nowhere for Rayome to go. And if you had Shaggy TV on your car, that wasn't a good corner for you. Both guys sporting my logo, Terry and Scott, suffer damage, and this is still live. Terry Landis trying to figure out a way to get this thing down into pit road, but it won't turn for him. Not too sure if he'll be able to reverse and steer that thing in. Doesn't look like it. Terry's just going to have to pull it now to the inside. That'll probably do it for the driver of the 161. Tough break there for Terry Landis. Just minding his own business. That happens in racing. That's the name of the game. That's the way it goes. Never, ever goes the way you want it to. That's for sure. The way you planned it to, I should say. Sometimes it goes the way you want. You get the same result. It rarely ever goes right out of that playbook. The light should be off on the Steve King Foundation pace car. Anthony back a little too far. I tried to go in the cheat camera there to see if I could see it. Let's see, they're still back too far for me. It doesn't want to tell me. As yes, if they're back this far, I would assume we're going back racing. Yeah, Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off. Anthony Morano leads him to the green flag. He drops the hammer. We're back underway. And not too sure what happened to Patrick Spangler. Patrick Spangler must have pulled over, quit, got out. Not too sure if he's got something going on here. The high side banger gives up P2. And now Gavin Chatham here battling with his teammate in the 32. Side by side entering 3. Gavin said, Shaggy, I heard what you said. I am the sprint car guy. Hunkers it down on the bottom through 4. But can't get up and close the door. Anthony Morano trying to earn his keep here. trying to be the new sprint car guy in town. Gavin so good on the bottom through 1 and 2. Now he's going to be able to creep up, shut that door, slam it tight. Gavin Chatham to the lead with 13 laps to go. Rick Main, he's been able to drive his way back up into the top 3. The 187 high and handsome through 1 and 2. That race car, it's got to be beat up a little bit. We see it make contact with Terry Landis not too long ago. Going to need everything to go perfect here if he wants to run his teammates, or run these boys down. The teammates who are still battling side by side, doing themselves no favors here. They're allowing Rick Main to just tug at the rope, man. He is reeling these guys in. You see it at the line. He's 1.1 off the leader. We're going to go to Anthony Morano. We're going to show you this lap history, man. And Rick Main, lots of green down there on the bottom. He is hungry. He is hungry. We're going to see some more green one more time. Here he comes, Rick Main. He's got 10 laps to get up here and try to get with these guys. I say all the time, you don't got to be perfect. You got to be smooth. Well, damn, Rick, you do got to be perfect here. You want to get up here and get there, you got to be perfect. He's got it down to within a second now. He almost clips that outside wall. Anthony Morano gets loose in the center of the corner. Rick Main can't waste time. Got to get hungry. Slide job for P2. Anthony Morano. He just puts his hands up and says, what do I got to do? This guy is fast. Rick Main to the outside. Trying to run down Gavin Chatham, who goes upstairs. Now he says, Rick, I'm going to go up here. I'll let it eat too, brother. I'm going to go up here. I'm hungry. Goes to the outside. He is right up against that outside wall. Now we kind of see it stall out here. Stays around that 9/10 of a second mark. That is until Rick Main drives it in there with a full head of steam. Little mess up. Going to lose a 10th of a second. Gavin Chatham trying to open up that can here, extend the lead a little more. Pretty much single file here around the racetrack, as you can see. No battles. I mean, this is the closest battle on the racetrack, and Rick Main gets in the outside wall, loops it around, tries to turn it around. Caution flag comes right when he straightens it out. You saw it happen live. He's just trying to send it in deep here, making up time on the 99 of Gavin Chatham. Gets stuck in the wall here through 1 and 2, and when he yanks it off, it's just going to jump around on him, and you can see sucks up into that outside wall, finally yanks it off, rolls around on him. I believe our fourth caution of the evening. As Gavin Chatham leads the way, we'll have 5 to play. We do go back under green. Lights stay on the Steve King Foundation pace car, so no rush here on going back. And Rick Main, he shouldn't have any quick repairs left, being involved in that first accident, so he's going to go in there and maybe use this time to hopefully repair that car, get it back out there. Where it'll at least drive, semi-straight, maybe recover some points. We'll have to see if the 187 can get back out on the racetrack. But man, it looks like a sure thing here for the 99 of Gavin Chatham, who just needed some light and needed to get that thing out front so it could breathe. And he's got that Batmobile flying tonight, the 99. The Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham, sees the lights go off on the Steve King Foundation pace car. He knows we're going to get ready to go. Back racing this time. Steve King Foundation pace car will pull off coming out of 4, and we've got a 5-lap shootout down here in Lakeland, Florida, as the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. We're back underway. 5 to play. Battle on here for third is Randy Shreves, feeling some pressure here from the 9 of Isaac Bowman. Isaac trying to do it downstairs through 3 and 4, find some grip, but loses it all. And Cale Bixler now takes a peek on the high side there in that 7, 8, 9. He's trying to get some podium talks. Can he find a way to find some grip here for that 7, 8, 9? As Anthony Morano, he is reeling all around, sliding every bit of sideways 2 to play. And he hold off the gang here as Gavin Chatham absolutely gone out of touch. 1.5 up the road. See you later, says Gavin. He only wants 1 flag, man. That checkered, and he is a lap and a half away from it. As Isaac Bowman looking to the bottom here. Can he get the podium? Not through 4. He's got 1 more lap to do it. As Gavin Chatham has his eyes on yet another checkered flag here in the fixed 360 sprint cars. Did it easily here tonight. Took him a while to get to the front, but when he got there, never looked back as Gavin Chatham grabs the checkered flag. He wins your Flatline Racing Bodies 360 sprint car feature, followed by Anthony Morano, Randy Shreves, Isaac Bowman, Cale Bixler. Your top 5. Your hard charger, Jeff Barker, coming in 6th. Started 15th, going to finish 6th there. That's a good run for the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. As we give these guys a little bit of time here. See if we can't pull up the man who finished 3rd for an interview. Of course, Randy Shreves. Like I say, these guys, that's a lot of laps here at this place. So give them a second or two, hop up in the waiting room, and as soon as we get Randy up here, we'll pull him in. And there is the man who brought home P3, Randy Shreves. Randy, I'll tell you, man. Let's see here. No, that wasn't Randy. That was Rick Main, wasn't it? That was Rick, and I only saw the R's. So, hey, I know you're not Randy now. I noticed it was Rick. I only see the R. Sorry about that, Rick. I just didn't want to look like a dummy like I was talking to anyone or no one.
I hurried up and jumped back out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But now I'm going to send you back down. But, yep, just so everyone knows I'm not crazy. There's another R. Good run, Rick.
Thanks.
Now we're going to bring up the right R, okay? Because when I stream, they're all truncated, Randy. So sorry, I only see R's. And when Rick was in there, I pulled him up. But Randy, you're the man bringing home P3. And I'll tell you, it looked like, I know you won't say it, man. I'll say it for you. A couple more laps, you might have had P2. Anthony, it was starting to go away. You were starting to hook up, man. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, it was definitely surprising that my car was holding up as good as it was. It was just so I had an 8X in that race. It was just a brutal race for me. The front of the car was messed up, the back of the car was messed up, but somehow it was still going forward pretty fast. And yeah, definitely glad to finish on the podium. I definitely didn't think it was going to happen.
No, and it seemed like, it wasn't easy, either lane, really. It was kind of tricky. But, Randy, it really did almost seem like, man, you could kind of put the car where you wanted to here to close out. If you were willing to risk it up high, you could do it. Or like you were kind of doing, you could find some grip on the bottom coming out of the corners. I mean, did you find the racetrack racy here tonight?
Yeah, it was definitely racy. It was just pretty much fast everywhere. I mean, there's just a couple spots you can't really go near. It'll definitely screw you up. Learned that the hard way, but yeah, just kind of got to not overdrive the car here at this track, because if you do, you'll end up in the fence.
Yeah, and it is easier said than done around this flat, long racetrack. But Randy, man, you found some speed. You moved this thing on up through the field, up 7 spots up to P3. Hell of a job, man. Who you want to thank?
I definitely appreciate it, Zach. I definitely want to thank you, man, for the broadcast. You do an awesome job every week, and Coast to Coast for everything they do. Flatline Racing Bodies, KSB Builders, my son Dylan Shreves for painting my car, and everybody for watching.
Hey, great run, Randy, and man, hopefully I'm talking to you again. Are you going to go run that midget race?
Yeah, I'm gonna go play around in the midget again tonight.
All right, my wife wants to hang out, so will you let them know I'm not going to be there when you get in that?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks, Randy. Good run tonight.
Thanks, Zach.
Randy Shreves bringing home P3, and now we're going to bring up Quick Time! The man who finished P2, Anthony Morano. Anthony, man, it was almost the same story that we saw in the 358s. You know, I think Scott would be the first person to admit that, you know, he's probably maybe the protege. You know, you're the sensei. You're the guy teaching in the small block. You find a way around him, you walk away, and then the same thing happens to you here, man. You're looking good there for a while, but once Gavin, I mean, we know he's a sprint car guy. Once your teammate got around you, that was kind of all she wrote, and it looked like you were just kind of trying to hold on to P2. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, I had absolutely nothing for Gavin there. He just, I did what I could to stay where I was and hold him off there. And once he got by me, I tried doing this and that, and that wasn't it either. So yeah, he's insane in a sprint car. But I tried. Yeah, it's yeah, I feel bad what happened there with Rick. I mean, we were just talking about it early in the race. I wasn't really expecting him to come whipping around the outside of me, and I was already committed to a line, so it kind of sucks for him. And I don't really think I hurt my car too bad, but didn't really leave him an option, so it sucks. But you know, whoa, kind of happens. But yeah, eventually I'll figure out how to keep up with Gavin in these bigger tracks and maybe race him hard one day for a win in a sprint car.
Hey man, I'm hard on everybody. I like to feel equally, but that's a case of you know, maybe what me and Dean like to say. You know, live to race another day, and I mean, you nailed it. You're kind of committed to that line at that point. You've been sliding up for a while, and I mean, you could see it coming. So the writing was on the wall, man. You gotta write that off the conscience here. You were just doing what you had to do, and man, you bring home a 1-2 for the team. Not a 1-2-3, you know. You had to save one for the rest of the league here tonight, but hell of a job, man. A 1-2-3 in the small blocks, and then we come over here and run a 1-2 in the sprint cars. Great run, Anthony. Who you want to thank?
It was definitely a lot of fun. Thanks a lot, Shaggy.
You got anybody you want to thank, Anthony?
I thought I lost you there.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
I thank my wife,
no,
Sherry,
you're good. You're good.
Boys over here at FTM, Super Cars, Fun Speed Shop, Hi Mom Lens, Vertex Graphics, DJ Sim Shop, Shaggy TV, Casper Flagstone, Flatline Racing Bodies. You for doing a broadcast and everyone at Coast to Coast.
Hey, sorry about that burb. I had an internet splurge, or like everything went weird. So hopefully everything's good. But at least that was at the end of the race. But hey, great run, Anthony, and can't wait to talk to you again, man.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Gotta love those lag spikes in the internet world. And now we're gonna bring up the man who, boy oh boy, you know, Gavin. You probably weren't listening to the broadcast because you know you're racing the car. But I basically said, what's going on here, man? Anthony's the small block guy. The sprint car guy's stuck in third, can't get around these two. And I'll tell you, it wasn't a half a lap later that you said, all right, I'll go up here. I'll take the lead. I mean, I lit a fuse on you. That thing was a rocket ship tonight, dude. How'd you feel?
Well, I'm glad it wasn't the commentator's curse there. It was the commentator's good luck charm there. But yeah, no, the car felt really really good. I was just trying to be patient and to pick my battles there and pick them wisely and try to, you know. Patrick, he's fast, and we were having a good battle there. And unfortunately, something happened with him where he couldn't continue. But it was shaping up a good race between me and him, and sliding back and forth. And I finally got around him on that restart run on the bottom, and I think the caution came out pretty quick. So I felt the bottom was there. I was like, okay, and which is weird because usually Anthony's on the bottom, and he wasn't hitting the bottom, and it left the door open for me, and I was able to work past him there. And then I about almost gave it away. I missed the bottom, and he got back around me, but then we kept battling, and a heck of a battle with Anthony. He did a great job tonight. It was great racing with him, but the car felt great. I was just trying to pick and choose my battles. I knew we had a fast car, and it's just you got to pick it right and time things right and pass these guys and make it count because Anthony, Patrick, Brandy, Rick, they're all fast guys, and if you make a mistake and they get by you, you might not get another opportunity again to pass them.
No, and you talked about that little mistake when Anthony was able to get back to the outside of you. I mean, just the lap before, you had absolutely nailed it on the bottom of 3 and 4, to make that pass. And I don't know if you knew, but that's the same line Anthony used to get by Scott in the 358s. Late in the race, there was that bottom in 3 and 4. And you had mentioned you kind of found it a little bit before that other quick caution came out when you got around Patrick. But did you know it was going to be there? Was that always kind of, hey, I'll try this late, or was that kind of something you just figured out on the fly?
It's always in the back of your mind, and when I go out there and run hot laps, I always try to see where the lap times are on the bottom compared to like where the fast line is to see, okay, there's probably a gauge of when this bottom's going to start coming in, and just by the look of the racetrack as well, I kept feeling the car starting to slip up coming off of two, that the grip was going away. The slick was getting closer and closer to the wall, so you couldn't get that huge run off the bottom, or excuse me, off the top. So that bottom was just wide open, and there was a ton of grip down there as long as you hit it right, and it just gave a ton of bite. But usually historically, even USA, once that top pushes up pretty far, it gets too far around, and then the bottom will come back in and start working, kind of like Williams Grove. But the way Williams Grove worked a couple weeks ago, it didn't. The bottom wasn't the place to be, and the top was the place to be. So yeah, it was just kind of and you got to make moves where people aren't running. If they're running the top, and you got to try to run the bottom, see if it sticks and works, and maybe catch them off guard too. Maybe find the fastest line. But yeah, kind of a little bit of luck, but just kind of figuring too. Historically, USA the bottom does come back in.
Well, hey, man, you got to keep it in the notebook. We'll probably be coming back here again. You never know if the track will be the same or what conditions we'll have. But at the end of the day, man, you bring home another checkered flag. Hell of a run for you and the teammates, man. A 1-2-3 in the small blocks, and then you guys come out here with a 1-2. And it don't get much better than that, man. 5 out of 6. Congratulations. Who you want to thank?
Thanks, Shaggy. I just want to thank you for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. I want to thank Coast to Coast Racing. Flatline Racing Body is always a sponsor on Wednesday night. I want to thank them for continuing to be the sponsor on Wednesday nights for Hometown Heroes. But Coast to Coast Racing, all the admin, all the sponsors, everybody that helps put this league on and allows us to come out here and race and put on a good show for everybody. So I want to thank Full Throttle Motorsports and Super Dark Car Series, Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports. Swan Speed Shop, all the sponsors for the team. I want to thank them for supporting us and allowing us to come out here and helping us come out here and do what we like to do. So I want to thank the fans for coming out and watching these races. I really hope we put on a good show for y'all each night, every night. And I just want to thank my fans as well for taking time to watch the races and supporting me.
Well, hey, can I ask you one more dumb question, Gavin, for real? Because
Yeah,
I just
go ahead.
noticed this on my camera.
Go ahead.
When you go back and look at your interview, because I've never noticed this. So I have a camera that I put off the roll bar, and I just noticed there's a 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on your wing. I guess that's wing position. Did you leave it at 0 the whole time? Like, is this camera accurate? I'm just curious.
I think the camera's lying. I had it at 5 for everyone looking for information.
Okay, all right. So it doesn't move. Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
No.
That was basically my. I wanted to know if it was going to shift throughout. But yeah, okay.
No,
So it's there, but it's not going to give us accurate reading.
No, the wing was forward the whole race. And honestly, a lot of people do ask me that. And honestly, at the end of the day, it comes down to feel. Um, if you feel comfortable keeping the wing forward, you're going to have the most speed. But if you start moving the wing back, it's going to create more downforce. It's going to slow the car down, but the car's going to be more planted to the ground. It's all dependent on what you can handle. And that's what for me it's comfortable that way. If I start moving the wing back, I feel like get the car too tight. But other guys will tell me they'll have it at 1 or 2, and they felt great and they were super fast. So it kind of just all depends on field, track state, and everything like that. But yeah, the camera, Shaggy, you're giving away my secrets. Yeah.
Well, I think that's so neat. I want to know, dude,
uh,
whoever paints your car, I actually want to ask them about that because now I'm clicking through. Dude, you're the only one with that. So whoever paints your car, that is a really cool detail they added. And that is something, seriously, anyone who paints cars, they should see that. Dude, that is a phenomenal little detail. And I'm going to start adding that to my car.
Ross Carenta and Velocity Race Design, he's done all my cars. He does a fantastic job, and he makes them look so sharp on the racetrack, and they always look good in victory lane as well. So I'd reach out to him and maybe ask him what he has going on. He just paints them, and he makes me look good on the racetrack, and I just try to put it in victory lane.
Yeah, dude, that's so neat. Sorry to get way off topic there, everybody, but dude, Gavin, you got to check that out. That really is a cool detail. You'll see what I'm talking about right up by that bar. But hey, man, hell of a run. Congratulations on the win, and hopefully I'm talking to you again.
Thanks, Shaggy. Appreciate it.
Gavin Chatham brings home the win. Sorry to get everyone off topic there, but that's the geek in me. You know, I'd just like to know, and I'd never noticed that before. So really cool feature there. I guess Ross Carina added, man. Ross the boss coming through with sweet schemes here. But that's going to do it for the Coast to Coast Racing League tonight. I don't know if we have a broadcaster for tomorrow. Excuse me as I have a hiccup. Adam Flieger is still on vacation, and I took off my golf league last Thursday. Couldn't do it to my partner again. So I'm golfing tomorrow. Not too sure if we'll be live, but they'll definitely be racing Thursday Night Thunder. So make sure, drivers, you hit the track, you get out here. But worst comes to worst, we'll be back live Monday. My man Marty Sakala on the call. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm Zach Chapman saying so long and have a good night.